Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. This is Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. I've missed you guys. Your girl has been booked and busy and booked, you guys. But I am back and we have plenty of content to get to. Speaking of, shout out to some of the content creators. Thank you to my followers that have taken some inspiration from me and have literally taken some of my thumbnails and everything else. Just don't forget to shout out Anonymous T. It's all love. There's no bad blood or anything like that, but thank you for the recognition. We are making moves. We are getting the attention of lots of people, you guys. So now we're on the road to 10K and we're going to keep pushing. But of all the content that I have to deliver to you guys, there is one thing that I could not pass up discussing first, and that is Juicy Smollay. Juicy Smollay, who has tried to con the world with his fake hate crime that he now got punished for. He got exposed, he got caught, and he got sentenced. So, as last Thursday, as you guys know, Juicy Smollay was sentenced to 150 days in jail, which is about approximately 5 months. Although a lot of people are alleging that he's likely going to do 2 months in jail, if that, because of credits of good behavior and all of this other nonsense. So, these people who are going on these platforms that are, saying free Juicy Smollay and that he doesn't deserve to go to jail, and the whataboutism, that white women allegedly, lie about their kidnapping and being abducted, and they don't get the same type of, vitriol and treatment as Juicy Smollay, except for one thing: Juicy Smollay is black. And when you are black and you were talking about the legal system, if you do something wrong, especially if you do something wrong, they're going to make an example of you. Like, it's how the bread is buttered, you guys. So I found that interesting. Also, I do not understand why TARAJI B. HENSON is comparing this case to Emmett Till. It is nowhere near the level, of what Emmett Till in that case, has signified in our history, in our culture, and, how certain things have, happened moving forward when somebody lies. This is not on that level at all. But the main thing I wanted to talk about this is because on the heels of other liars who lie for clout, lie for attention, lie for clicks and views, Juicy Smollay thought that he could pull a fast one on black people. He thought that he could weaponize the empathy, the sympathy, the forgiveness, and, the emotions that black people feel that are going to pull at the heartstrings and believe this hate crime lie. Except for the opposite happened. A lot of us remained silent. Speaking of, in light of all of this, I don't know about you guys, but I rewatched the Dave Chappelle skit of Juicy Smollay, which I will happily link in the description box. Somebody just cut it down to where it's just like the 5 minutes of where he is just dragging and exposing Juicy Smollay and, how he's the punchline and everything else. Because this doesn't make any sense. For those of you who are defending Juicy Smollay, can you give me a reason why? Why are we defending somebody who lied? Why are we defending somebody who orchestrated their own hate crime? And here's the thing. The reason and the rationale are completely dumb because it actually ends up doing more harm than good for his future. So the alleged reason that he came up with this, faux hate crime nonsense is because Empire was ending. He was, feeling a certain type of way that he's not getting any roles post Empire. Auditioned for some things, auditioned for some Broadway roles that he thought he was going to secure, and basically got rejected. So that promptly led him to create this master plan of a fake hate crime that he felt was going to get enough sympathy and attention from all of you that you were going to be like, wow, you were going to treat it like a Kaepernick situation. You're going to be like, wow, he needs his job. He needs to continue working in Hollywood. Like, this is not okay. Except for the story itself didn't make sense, didn't pass the smell test, which is why Jussie Smollett is sitting in jail right now. Like, let's break it down, you guys. Let's break it down. What MAGA person do you know that is out at 2 a.m. in the blistering cold of Chicago and is going to walk up to Jussie Smollay and say, you're that bleep from Empire? First of all, what MAGA person do you know that watches Empire, number one? Number two, what MAGA person do you know that is hiding and coming out of the bushes at 2 a.m. in Chicago, of all places? Because if you follow what is in the blueprint, what is in the handbook of the MAGA talking points, you would know Chicago, DC, and Detroit are off limits for their whole campaign. So that right there is just ignorant in itself, right? Do your research. Number two, what time of the day does MAGA, do their dirt? 9 times out of 10, it's during business hours. What time was the insurrection, you guys? What time was the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th? What time was that? That the MAGA crew, took off work to fly out to DC, had all of this stuff planned and everything else, because they specifically wanted to target certain people, certain senators, certain, people from the House of Representatives, specifically trying to, put inappropriate things that could be at risk in their offices. Why do you think that MAGA wants to be seen during the day? Because they want to invoke and impose their will and try to get their way. So that directly contradicts Jussie Smollay's account of a hate crime. Completely invalidates it. And here's something else, you guys, because this is not the first time Jussie Smollett has lied to you. He got a DUI previously, you guys. I think this was either in 2007, 2009, what have you. And instead of owning that, saying, hey, I'm Jussie Smollay, I messed up, I got a DUI, I need to hold myself accountable. You know what he did? Those of you who don't know, he said that he was his brother and signed all of the paperwork as his brother. So this is the type of, habitual and pathological lying that we are dealing with, you guys. With somebody who thinks that they are above the law and that they can con the law by pretending to literally be somebody else, and also concocting fake hate crime stories like you wouldn't investigate the source and proof and receipts. Like you wouldn't go after security cameras to vet the information, to vet the alleged story. I mean, what is the thought process? And then those of you who are saying, what aboutism? That doesn't apply when you're black. The only freebie, quote freebie that we got was OJ. And then after that, it was business as usual. So this whole thing where black people are going to be able to get away with faking crimes and not seeing any time in jail is laughable. You know, the only smidge of hope that Juicy Smollay would have had that he wouldn't have saw jail time is if the alleged people who performed the hate crime, the fake hate crime, the faux hate crime were black. But because he said they were white, number one, because number two, he said they were wearing MAGA hats in the blistering cold of Chicago at 2 a.m., they chose to make an example out of him for wasting their time and wasting the court's time and their resources and everything else for this foolishness, all because you were worried about your acting career. You felt a way that you weren't going to get any opportunities, and you pull this stunt, which basically guarantees that your shelf life in Hollywood is over. Or you're going to be on a very low budget TV shows and movies. But this is what we are dealing with, you guys. This is what we are dealing with when somebody continues to lie. When somebody has a history of lying. When somebody can't even get out from under their own lies to try to be a truthful person. You get holes in your stories when you're trying to set up a fake hate crime. So there's that. And then the people who are still saying free Juicy Smollay. Then the people who are saying this is like Emmett Till. Like, stop it. Don't insult Emmett Till and his family and everybody else and comparing that to this. It is not on the same wavelength. It is not on the same level by any stretch of the imagination. We have to hold each other accountable. That is the thing. We cannot continue to just give people pass after pass when they screw up because you like them or you think they look a certain type of way, so you're going to give them a pass, or you feel there's something that you can get out of them that benefits you, so you're going to give them a pass. No. Even if it's your family, even if it's your friend, if somebody does wrong, you have to acknowledge it. And they need to be taking accountability and responsibility for their actions, that it's not okay, so it doesn't happen again. But what's happened now is we are in this era where people feel so entitled, where people feel like they can get away with murder, that they'd rather be taken down and being sentenced in jail for faking a hate crime versus continuing to audition for roles and see eventually which role they get, instead of being discouraged of one play, not calling you back or rejecting you or whatever. So this is where we are, you guys. This is where we are. But if you have not learned from Juicy Smollay, if you have not learned from Tasha K, lying is not the answer. Let me repeat. Lying is not the answer. And knowingly lying is not the answer. And knowingly plotting your lie is not the answer. And enlisting other people to be a part of your lie, to be a part of your scam, is not the answer. So there's that, you guys. There is that. Like I said, we will be seeing Juicy Smollay out of jail probably by May. If not sooner, but probably by May or June. But we have to be careful, you guys. This whole thing where we're just going to stand by each other because we're black, including if it's something extremely problematic, including if it's something that is pretty much against your moral compass, we have to do better. We have to do better and stop enabling the BS. Just like we have to stop enabling Kanye. It's the same tactics that Juicy Smollay is using. And then try to also mention that he doesn't want to be Sandra Bland. I knew Juicy was extra. I knew Juicy Smollay, obviously felt like he was the big man on campus with the success of Empire. But basically, like most of the cast, he's faded into the background. The very background. So there's that. So what do you guys think of this case? What do you think of the case? Do you think that Mr. Juicy Smollay deserves jail time? What do you guys think? Please let me know your guys' thoughts. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.